Welcome back to Bad Things Well Said Icelandic Newsroom. We are here, yes, it's Thursday morning, kind of damp, sifting through, the usual wreckage of the last 24 hours.
The storm's passed, sure, but let's call it administrative chaos. That's a permanent weather system here.
It really is. It's this perpetual motion machine of, frankly, absurdity. It never stops.
Never. And yesterday wasn't just news, it felt more like institutional theater, like peak performance art.
Right, a masterclass. We live in a country where the state makes these grand gestures that have almost zero practical impact.
Zero. We've got financial ghost hunting on the menu today.
We do. And economic self-cannibalization, always a favorite.
Oh, and regulatory arbitrage, trying desperately to look like cool startup culture.
It's high drama, low confidence. And guess who's footing the bill for the scriptwriters?
Yes, always us.
So what treasures have we pulled from the media cycle today, just to, hook you in? We're definitely going to tackle the state's absolutely magnificent $2.3 billion ISK fine.
Against who?
Against the literal corpse of Player, the bankruptcy estate.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's bold.
It's a monument to futility. Truly breathtaking.
And then there's the economic double tap, right? The central bank, led by Governor Askir Johnson.
You almost had it. Askir Johnson.
Right, him. Keeping interest rates sky high at 7.5%. While, and get this, your own pension funds are bankrolling a company that's turning massive profits and simultaneously slashing the wages of its garbage collectors. It's beautifully vicious.
A perfectly closed loop of pain. We'll also look at the latest flicker of aviation hope. Glacier Airline.
Oh, another one. Phoenix from the ashes, or just, I don't know, a ghost in a Boeing costume this time.
We shall see. And of course, the entirely predictable, self-inflicted costs of certain diplomatic adventures in the Middle East.
Ah, yes, that. Plus the weather. Can't forget the weather. The weekend forecast is basically setting up a great divide.
So half the country gets smug sunshine, the other half gets drizzle. Sounds about right.
Pretty standard.
Okay, look, if you're enjoying this probably overly cynical, but let's face it, necessary review of Icelandic life, please do us a solid. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, maybe.
Yeah, it helps us keep fighting the good fight against bureaucratic quicksand.
Right, let's dive in. First up, this headline. It's almost too perfect, it feels like satire wrote itself.
Go on.
The Environmental and Energy Agency, that's the Fefis Og Orkustofnun.
Impressive.
Thank you. They find the bankruptcy estate, the Oro Tabu, of the very dead Player.
How much?
2.3 billion ISK. Billion. With a B. For unpaid carbon credits.
2.3 billion against an empty shell. It's utterly meaningless, isn't it?
Completely. It's pure performance theater.
It allows the government to stand up and say, look, we took action on climate while knowing perfectly well there's no money there. It's like writing a speeding ticket for, I don't know, Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Or maybe Sisyphus. The effort is the punishment, and the money's imaginary. Plus, the legal costs of this action probably cost us taxpayers more.
So symbolic accountability achieved. Bravo. But the real story here, the fascinating part, is the pattern, right? This constant legislative panic.
Exactly. Think back to WL Air collapsing. What happened immediately after?
The government rushed in new laws, didn't they? Giving Isavia, the airport authority, power to seize planes for debt.
Bingo. And did that work when Play went under?
Nope, not at all. Planes vanished just before the bankruptcy hammer fell, made those shiny new laws totally worthless.
It's always closing the barn door after the prize-winning horse has not only bolted, but is probably sipping cocktails somewhere sunny.
And so, naturally, what did they do last week in response to Play?
They rushed through another new regulation, this time to tighten aircraft deregistration rules.
It's systemic. They're perpetually fighting the last war. Always after the planes have physically left Iceland. It's like bureaucratic Groundhog Day.
It is, stuck on repeat.
The failure isn't technical, it's a failure of foresight. They react to the corpse, they never regulate the actual living entity.
So this 2.3 billion fine, it's just the final, very expensive rubber stamp on a total failure to regulate proactively. A very, very expensive piece of paper.
Okay, so if that ghost fine was pure spectacle, the next bit, the economic news, this feels more like targeted cruelty towards the average Icelandic worker.
Oh, the cognitive dissonance is strong with this one. Lay it on us.
All right. The central bank, Seðlabanki Islands, keeps interest rates nailed high, 7.5% still.
Because,
according to the official scrolls delivered, I imagine with immense gravity, inflation is still too high. So the economic thumbscrews, stay on.
Tighten the belts, folks. Meanwhile, down here on Planet Reality, what's happening in the, actual economy?
Well, fun you should ask. The waste management company, Terra, remember them?
Vaguely. Big yellow trucks.
That's them. They made over 500 million ISK in profit last year. $500 million.
Okay. Good for them, I guess. Where's this going?
They are planning to cut the wages of their garbage collectors by 15 to 20%.
Wait, the profitable company. The one making $500 million. Cutting wages for frontline workers.
That's the one. But here's the kicker. The punchline, if you will. Who owns Terra? Who's the majority shareholder?
Go on. Don't tell me.
Icelandic pension funds. Gildy, LSR, LV. Your retirement savings. My retirement savings.
Hold on. Let me play devil's advocate for a second. I get the outrage, I really do. But isn't this kind of how high interest rates are supposed to work?
How so?
Well, they're meant to slow things down, cool the economy, force businesses to tighten their belts, right? Which sometimes means painful cuts. Isn't Governor Askier just doing his job, however much we hate the outcome?
Okay, function. Maybe on paper, but effectiveness. Look at the reality. The monetary medicine, those high rates, squeezes the worker through their mortgage payments, right?
Right. Painfully so.
And at the same time, the workers' own collective capital, their pension money, is being used by the corporate bosses to squeeze them again at work by slashing their actual wages. It's a closed-loop system of economic self-harm, self-cannibalization.
Wow. Okay, when you put it like that, it's not just market discipline. It's a pincer movement.
Exactly. You're being hit from both sides by forces ultimately controlled by the same pot of money, yours.
It's actually dizzying. The worker gets penalized coming and going. The union leader, Vilhjálmur Bergason, he's obviously furious, calls it dismal. But what can he really do?
Not much, is there? When the owners are effectively the workers' own future selves via their pension funds, it's the ultimate financial catch-22. You can't win.
And speaking of volatile situations and maybe not winning, let's talk about Icelandic aviation again. The perpetual motion machine announces its latest creation, Glacier Airline.
Oh, Lord. Icelanders do love the idea of a new airline, don't we? Is this finally it, the fresh start? Or are we just lining up for the next episode of, well, the usual Icelandic aviation drama, Fragility Inc.?
Well, they're promising flights from Europe starting next June. Sounds ambitious. But the really interesting part, the bit that tells the story, is how they're setting it up.
How so?
The founder, a Mr. Usman Mehmood. Did I say that right? Sounds plausible. Usman Mehmood.
Okay, him. He's been very upfront. Glacier Airline will not be seeking an Icelandic air operator certificate, no AOC from Samgöngustofa, the Transport Authority.
So that's the move. How do they fly then? Magic.
Close. They're operating as a travel agency, using a wet lease model ACMI. They rent the aircraft, crew, maintenance, and insurance from a foreign airline.
So basically, they're outsourcing the actual airline part of being an airline.
Precisely. It's regulatory arbitrage, pure and simple. They're not just dodging paperwork, they're minimizing the amount of their own money tied up locally if, or perhaps when, things go south.
Smart. Cynical, but smart. All the risk gets dumped on the foreign company providing the planes and crew. They sidestep all that pesky, expensive Icelandic oversight that grounded WOW in play. Minimum liability for them.
Yep. Now, Mehmood himself, he's got that immigrant success story vibe politicians just love. Came up from being a taxi driver, built his helicopter company, Glacier Healy, without loans, apparently. The whole bootstrap narrative.
Right, the poster child for disruptive entrepreneurship. But there's always a but, isn't there?
Usually. His record is, let's call it, dynamic. His helicopter company faced accusations, remember? Undercutting the market with foreign pilots.
Oh, yeah. And wasn't there that incident? The helicopter landing in a parking lot?
That's the one. Damaging cars with rotor wash, sand, rocks. Maybe a neat little metaphor for his business style. Move fast, break things, don't worry too much about collateral damage.
And this new airline's business model seems to fit that mold. He's not really aiming at us, the 380,000 Icelanders, is he?
Not at all. He's explicitly targeting the 2.3 million tourists. It's designed as a funnel.
A funnel.
Yeah, a closed loop. Get the tourists here on his low-risk airline, then channel them directly into his high-margin tour businesses, Glacier Healy, Glacier Ventures. The airline is just the shuttle bus to the real moneymakers.
It sounds exactly like those fragile virtual airlines we've seen before. Nice Air, Iceland Express, lots of branding, very little substance underneath.
It has all the hallmarks. So the real question isn't, will it work? The question for you, listening right now, is, Why on earth is Isavia, the airport authority, handing over precious landing slots at Keflavik to an operation with such a deliberately light regulatory footprint? And, well, a track record of being, shall we say, aggressively competitive.
Okay, let's shift focus outwards for a moment. Because while we're busy with our own domestic dramas, ghost finds, dodgy airline schemes, Iceland inevitably gets tangled in global diplomatic spectacles.
Ah, you must be talking about Magastina.
Margaret Kristen Blundell, yes. The musician and activist. Detained by the Israeli military.
Which was, let's be brutally honest, entirely predictable. She was aboard the Conscience, part of the Freedom Flotilla. Getting intercepted was the point, wasn't it?
Pretty much the whole point, yeah. The mission objective, you could say. It was sealed the moment the boat left the harbor.
And now, cue the diplomatic dance. Her family's appealing, rightly so. Björk's posting support on social media, high visibility there.
And the Icelandic Foreign Ministry, now officially obliged to spend diplomatic energy, time, taxpayer resources, working through back channels, issuing formal requests, try to get her released.
And this is where the cynicism really bites, isn't it? Look, everyone has a right to political expression, absolutely. But does that right come with a blank check for state-funded extraction from consequences that were, frankly, baked into the plan from the start?
That's the uncomfortable bit. Are we, the taxpayers, essentially funding the retrieval service for high-risk symbolic political gestures?
It puts the state in an awkward spot. We have to help her, of course. That's the duty to a citizen.
Right. But we're also allowed to be deeply frustrated that we have to clean up a mess that was intentionally made. It's the ultimate I told you so situation, where everyone else pays the bill for the symbolic statement.
And the deepest irony, the truly tragic part, while all this was happening, while the flotilla was being seized for maximum media attention, there were reports of actual, serious, high-level ceasefire talks making progress in Cairo and Washington.
So a massive personal risk taken, a huge diplomatic kerfuffle generated.
For likely zero actual impact on the real levers of power making decisions about the conflict. A spectacle, perhaps, overshadowing quiet progress.
All right, let's wrap things up with our traditional absurdity audit. A quick look at municipal marvels and cultural crooks. Starting with the city of Reykjavik literally finding money down the back of the sofa.
The forgotten fund. Amazing story. 11 million krona in a music fund set up in 1940.
And then just forgotten about. For 84 years, lost in the administrative fog since World War II.
Apparently so. They finally found it and are rolling it into the modern music fund. Which is good, I guess.
It's lovely, but honestly, the level of incompetence it suggests, it's kind of staggering. This is the same city administration that, sometimes struggles with basic things like fire escapes in preschools.
It's a genuine miracle they haven't, misplaced a geothermal power plant by now, or forgotten where City Hall is.
Don't give them ideas. We had that beautiful example of governance by media shaming down in Grindavik.
Oh, the lava barriers. They're finally going to raise them by 2 or 3 meters, cost somewhere between 80 and 120 million ISK.
Now look, building defenses against actual flowing lava, that's hard. Dangerous, expensive, complex, I get it. But sitting on the engineer's proposal, which was apparently submitted way back in the spring, for 5 months, doing nothing. That's not geology, that's just bad management, until the media embarrassed them into it.
Exactly. They weren't building a wall against lava initially. They were building a wall against bad press. It's the national pastime. Delayed reaction.
And connecting all this beautifully, 2 little cultural snapshots. First, the 38-year-old guy who told the paper he desperately wants a sex doll, but is terrified of being judged.
Oh, that story. Is it a sad commentary on modern loneliness, or just maybe a guy worried about his social credit score in our intensely conformist little society?
Could be both. And second, that poll. Did you see it? An overwhelming majority of Icelanders prefer numerical grades 1 to 10 for kids in school, rather than letter grades like A to F.
Yes. It's perfect, isn't it? It captures our national obsession. We need everything quantified, precise, nailed down. We crave the comforting certainty of a number. No fuzzy ambiguity, please.
We demand a precise score for little Gudrun's homework, but we tolerate governance that seems to operate entirely on the principle of, it'll be grand and we'll sort it out eventually.
The contrast is telling.
But hey, speaking of clear, unambiguous numbers that don't lie, we did get one piece of genuinely uncomplicated good news.
Do tell, we need it.
The Breeblick women's football team. A fantastic, clean, decisive 4-0 win in the European Cup against Spartak Subotica.
Ah, brilliant. See, sometimes things just work. Pure, quantified competence, a rare sighting.
Okay, finally, let's look up the weather. Because after yesterday's blowout, the atmosphere is preparing for a bit of a dramatic split.
Indeed. Today, Thursday, October 9th, it's a day of two speeds, as they say. The morning started palm, didn't it? Row far till, clearing up. That was your window.
Was being the operative word. Because the calm doesn't last.
Nope. Rain's coming back. The southwesterly wind is picking up again, maybe 5 to 13 meters per second this afternoon. Still mild, though. Temps between 3 and 10 Celsius.
But tomorrow, Friday, that's the real change, isn't it?
Yeah.
Winter makes its entrance.
Big time. The wind swings around, pulls in cold, unstable air straight off the Atlantic. Expect some nasty showers. The forecast uses the lovely phrase, "Skur eddy a slide to wear."
Rain or sleet showers. Lovely. Winter's definitely knocking hard.
And then we get the weekend's great divide. A warm, moist southerly flow sets up shop, which means
Two completely different Icelands, south and west. You guys get stuck with persistent drizzle suld is the word. Gleam, basically, all weekend.
the Northeast. You lucky people hit the jackpot. The fun effect kicks in. Bjartvieri, clear, sunny skies.
And potentially warm. They're talking maybe 14 degrees Celsius up there.
Absolutely perfect weather for a deeply smug weekend getaway to the north, assuming you can dodge the sleet showers on the drive over there on Friday.
It's the ultimate Icelandic contradiction, isn't it? We obsess over getting that precise 1 to 10 grade for everything, demanding numerical certainty for our kids' schoolwork. Yet our actual governance, from misplaced municipal funds to reactive central banking to lava walls built only after public shaming, it all runs on this vague, mushy ambiguity of near enough and we'll get around to it. Constant delay.
So if we had to give our national bureaucracy a numerical grade 1 to 10 based on the performance highlighted in the last 24 hours, what number could you possibly assign?
Oof. That, my friend, is definitely something to ponder over your coffee this morning. This has been Bad Things Well Said, Icelandic Newsroom.
And hey, if you enjoyed listening to us tear things apart, please do follow, subscribe, maybe even share the episode. It helps.
We'll be back soon with more bad things, hopefully. Well said.
The voices in this podcast were generated by AI. However, all information, facts, claims, concepts, and the script itself were prepared, editorially reviewed, and are the original work of a human author.